Ladies and gentlemen, grab your tea, your popcorn, and maybe even a neck brace, because what we're about to drop will whiplash your entire understanding of Remy Ma's love life. In a world already drowning in cheating scandals, leaked DMs, and Instagram meltdowns, we thought we'd seen it all. But then, boom. A leaked audio dropped online, and baby, it's not just spicy, it's scorching. Because in this audio, allegedly recorded during a private phone call, Remy Ma, yes, the Remy Ma, confesses in her own words, "Eazy's the only man who ever satisfied me." Excuse me? So now the streets are asking, what happened to Papoose? What happened to Ride or Die? What happened to all that black love energy they made us believe in? Is this the final betrayal in hip-hop's most loyal love story? Or has Remy been faking her faithful wife era this whole time? From Bronx royalty to bedroom scandal, this isn't just a relationship mess. This is a full-blown emotional massacre. And trust us, once you hear what really went down, you'll never look at Remy, Papoose, or Eazy the Block Captain the same way again. Buckle up. This expose is not for the weak-hearted. It all started with a whisper, a cryptic tweet, a deleted Instagram story, and then suddenly, leaked audio surfaced. Raw, unfiltered, and allegedly straight from Remy Ma's own mouth. No warning, no filter, just confession. And what did she say? "Eazy's the only man who ever satisfied me." Those 9 words were all it took to obliterate over a decade of public loyalty, couple goals hashtags, and that ever-fragile thing called trust. Now, let's be very clear. Remy Ma and Papoose weren't just a regular hip-hop couple. They were a brand, a movement, a declaration that true love still existed in the messy chaos of fame. Papoose stood by her through prison time, through betrayal allegations, and through career highs and lows. And what did he get in return? A leaked audio clip that sent the internet into cardiac arrest. The recording didn't just leak, it exploded. Within minutes, it was uploaded, dissected, captioned, and memed. Every fan page, every gossip site, every reaction channel had one thing in common: disbelief. Because the voice in that clip, it wasn't angry. It wasn't ashamed. It was calm. Almost too calm. Like she'd been sitting on that truth for years. And now it was time to let the world know. You know what? I was never gonna say this, but I'm tired of pretending. Eazy, he just got me. In ways I never expected. The words cut deeper than any diss track. And the internet did what it does best. It went on a rampage. But here's the real kicker. This wasn't just a private phone call that accidentally got out. According to one anonymous source close to the situation, the audio was leaked on purpose. Yes, allegedly by someone in Remy's own inner circle. Why? That's still unclear. Some say it was revenge. Others think it was part of a rollout for an upcoming documentary. But one thing's for sure, it wasn't an accident. And let's not forget the history. Because this isn't the first time Eazy the Block Captain has been linked to Remy Ma. 4 months, maybe even years, there have been whispers. Glances exchanged in backstage footage. Late-night interviews with tensions so thick it could break the mic. And don't even get us started on that viral battle rap moment where Eazy mentioned someone's queen choosing the wrong king. Back then, everyone thought it was just bars. Now, it reads like foreshadowing. The streets are loud right now. And nobody's louder than Papoose's Day One supporters. Fans are in shambles. Comment sections look like support groups. People are writing paragraphs like they just went through the breakup themselves. After all he did for her? She's wild for that. Remy? No. Just no. But not everyone's turning on her. Some are actually defending her, saying she's finally speaking her truth. One viral TikTok even said, "Y'all mad that a grown woman found satisfaction and peace? Get over it." Peace? That's what we're calling emotional arson now. But let's rewind for a second. Because the cracks in this power couple weren't invisible. Just last year, there were rumors of Remy going MIA from family functions. Whispers about her staying out late after events where Eazy was performing. Papoose unfollowing her for 24 hours. And yes, even a grainy photo of Eazy and Remy allegedly holding hands outside a recording studio. Back then, their reps said it was all rumor and speculation. Now, it feels like the dam just broke. And while Papoose hasn't spoken publicly yet, sources say he's devastated. According to one insider, Pap feels like he got blindsided. Like he was the last one to know what everybody else already suspected.
Oof.
And that's not even the most painful part. Because this wasn't just about cheating or emotional betrayal. This was about satisfaction. Remy didn't just say she cheated. She said Eazy satisfied her. That's personal. That's body shaking. That's ego destroying.
And Eazy?
Well, he hasn't said a word since the leak. But that didn't stop him from liking a few shady tweets. One said, "Real recognize real." Another? "Sometimes the queen gotta upgrade to the right kingdom." Coincidence? We doubt it. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Team Remy is scrambling. Her publicist reportedly canceled all interviews for the week. Her IG comments? Disabled. Her recent stories? Nothing but throwbacks and vague quotes about living your truth. That's PR speak for "I know I broke the internet, and I'm hiding until it cools off." But here's what's truly wild. This might not even be the worst of it. Because one source says there's more audio. Allegedly, a second clip exists where Remy details private conversations between her and Papoose during the breakdown of their marriage, and it's even more brutal than the first. We haven't heard it yet, but the person who claims to have listened says one quote stood out. "I gave that man loyalty, but he never gave me life." What does that even mean? Was Papoose just a placeholder? Was the entire relationship a facade? Or worse, was Eazy in the background this entire time? As Twitter flooded with reactions, memes, and breakdowns of the audio, some fans dug up old interviews where Remy looked distracted. One from 2022 resurfaced where a reporter asked about Papoose, and she laughed awkwardly before changing the subject. At the time, no one thought much of it.
Now,
fans are calling it a red flag we all missed. But as the internet continues to play detective, one question keeps echoing louder than the rest.
why now?
Why drop this audio now, in the middle of an already turbulent year for hip-hop relationships? Theories are flying everywhere. Some say Remy's gearing up for a full-blown rebrand. Others claim she's preparing to expose even more secrets about her private life, and that this leak was just the appetizer. Whatever the case, the damage is done. The image of Remy and Papoose, the ride-or-die duo who conquered prison bids, industry blacklists, and media scrutiny, has shattered into a million pieces. And at the center of the wreckage stands Eazy the block captain, smirking in silence. And just when we thought we'd processed it all,
boom.
Another leak dropped. The second audio leak hit like an aftershock. Raw, louder, and even more damning. If the first one was the confession, the second was the burial. No soft tones this time. Remy's voice was colder.
Clearer.
Sharper. And what she said, "I was tired of pretending." With Papoose, it was duty. With Eazy, it was desire. That one sentence pulled the entire internet into a frenzy. Not even TMZ could keep up. Twitter threads turned into novels. TikTok therapists popped up overnight. And Black Twitter? Baby, they turned it into a full courtroom drama. People were choosing sides like it was the Super Bowl of betrayal. But let's break it all down, because this wasn't just gossip. This was a full-blown scandal with layers, timelines, and behind-the-scenes whispers louder than stadium speakers. Insiders claim this second audio wasn't recorded in secret.
No.
It was allegedly captured during a private therapy session. Yes, couples therapy, where Remy and Papoose were trying to work things out. According to the leak, Remy had agreed to be honest during the session. But nobody expected her version of honesty to sound like a relationship obituary. In the tape, Remy describes how the intimacy had faded years ago, how she felt like she was performing a role in their marriage. She said, "I respected him. I loved how he loved me. But I never felt that way about him. Not the way I do with Eazy." Cue the social media explosion. Now here's where it gets even messier. Because shortly after that second leak, someone claiming to be a former assistant for Remy posted a now-deleted thread saying that this entire situation had been brewing for over 2 years. Allegedly, Remy and Eazy started getting close during a project they worked on together in Philly. And from there, the chemistry was unavoidable. The assistant wrote, "I saw it with my own eyes. The way she looked at him, it wasn't professional. It was personal." Screenshots followed, grainy but telling. One appeared to show Remy and Eazy walking out of a hotel at 2 a.m. Another showed Eazy's car parked outside Remy's condo. Nothing confirmed, but enough to fuel a million fan theories. Papoose, meanwhile, is still silent. Not a single word. No post. No tweet. No interview. Just complete blackout. But insiders say he's moved out of their shared home. Others claim he's been staying with Fat Joe, who allegedly told him to keep it G and play the long game. That's right. Even Fat Joe is being pulled into this. And as for Eazy, let's just say he's not exactly hiding. In fact, just days after the leaks, he performed at a sold-out event in Brooklyn and dropped one line that sent shockwaves through the crowd. "I don't steal queens. I just remind em what royalty feels like." Mic drop. The crowd went insane. Phones went up. The clip went viral in under an hour. People weren't even sure if it was a freestyle or a confirmation, but they didn't care. It was the moment. And it only added fuel to the fire that Eazy isn't just the other man. He might be the next man. But let's not pretend this scandal exists in a vacuum, because it's pulling the entire hip-hop community into its orbit. Artists are chiming in. Cardi B liked a shady tweet that said, "Sometimes your soulmate shows up late." Meek Mill posted a cryptic IG story that read, "People only loyal till their options grow." And Nicki Minaj? Well, she's been suspiciously quiet. And let's not forget about the business side. Papoose was reportedly working on a new joint album with Remy. That project? Now shelved. Their team has allegedly lost 2 brand deals in the last 48 hours. One was a podcast sponsorship that pulled out the moment the second audio dropped. The other? A planned appearance on a BET reunion show. But that's not even the craziest part. Because guess what else surfaced? A legal filing. That's right. A document filed in New Jersey family court under the names Remy Smith and Shamil Mackey that appears to be a preliminary divorce petition. It's not finalized. It's not public. But sources say it's real, and it was submitted just one day before the second audio leak. Coincidence? Not likely. Which begs the question, was this all orchestrated? A calculated exit from the marriage? Or a series of accidental leaks in the middle of a personal implosion? One anonymous entertainment lawyer had this to say. When audio leaks, someone benefits. That's the rule. Either someone's protecting themselves legally, or someone's laying the groundwork for a media pivot. This doesn't feel like an accident. And honestly, they might be right. Because guess what just got quietly trademarked last week? The Remy rebirth, for use in podcasts, documentaries, and apparel. Oh yes. She might be burning her old image down, but it looks like she's already planning to rise from the ashes in a designer hoodie with her own tagline. Meanwhile, the public can't get enough. Hashtags are trending. Hashtag Remy said what is now on hoodies. Reaction videos are getting millions of views. One YouTuber broke down both audio clips and said, "This isn't a breakup. This is a reveal. She's been gone. We just didn't know it."
And now,
everyone's watching for the final nail in the coffin. Because multiple gossip outlets are reporting that Remy might be planning a tell-all sit-down interview. A Red Table Talk style deep dive where she lays out the truth once and for all. And guess who's rumored to be producing it? Mona Scott Young. You can't make this up. If that happens, it's over. The era of Remy and Papoose will be officially dead, and a new media monster will rise in its place. But as we wait, one thing is clear. This isn't just a love triangle. This is a masterclass in public image manipulation, emotional sabotage, and relationship warfare. And Eazy? He's looking like the calm in the storm, or maybe, just maybe, the eye of the hurricane. But before you start calling him the villain, remember, he hasn't said a word. No denials. No confirmations. Just quiet confidence and strategic performances.
And Remy? She's not apologizing.
Not once. Not even a note of regret in those audio clips. Just brutal honesty. I spent years doing what people expected. I gave them loyalty. But I want passion. And just like that, the narrative flipped. Because now the question isn't just, how could she do this to Papoose? It's becoming, was Remy ever really happy to begin with? And as fans scramble to figure out what's real and what's PR spin, a third wave is quietly forming in the background. A third leak. A third revelation. And when that one drops, this whole story might take a turn that nobody is ready for. And then the third leak happened.
It wasn't audio.
It wasn't screenshots. It was a video. A short, 38-second clip that surfaced on a burner Twitter account before being pulled down, but not before it was saved, downloaded, and spread like wildfire across the internet. In the video, Remy Ma is seen inside a dimly lit room, talking on FaceTime. The person on the other end? Allegedly Eazy, the block captain. Her tone?
Soft.
Flirty. Different. And then the bombshell moment. She leans in toward the camera and says, "I wish you were here right now, not him." There was no context. No dates. No confirmation if it was old footage or recent. But the damage was already done. It was the final blow to a relationship already lying on life support. The visual proof that whatever existed between Remy and Eazy wasn't just emotional. It was romantic, physical, and undeniably real. At this point, fans weren't even surprised. They were exhausted, heartbroken,
Betrayed.
and angry. Not just at Remy, but at the illusion. The illusion that black love was untouchable. That loyalty could survive anything. That fairy tales could be real if you just waited long enough. Papoose was that symbol.
And now?
That symbol has been shattered. Papoose's name started trending alongside words like loyalty, humiliation, and emotional abuse. People created montages of him visiting Remy in prison, throwing birthday parties, defending her in interviews. One fan wrote, "He waited for her while she did 6 years, and this is the thanks he gets?" And just as the outrage peaked, a private letter allegedly written by Papoose to Remy was leaked by an unknown source. It's not confirmed, but the penmanship matched his past letters from prison days that fans dug up online. In the letter, he writes, "I fought for us when you gave up. I protected your name when you dragged mine. I stayed when others laughed. But I can't stay with someone who's already gone." It was simple. It was raw. And it broke the internet in half. But the questions still lingered. How did it get this far? How did a couple so deeply admired fall apart so publicly, so brutally? A former producer who worked with both Remy and Papoose told a podcast this week. They hadn't been on the same page in years. They were coexisting. Business partners. Roommates, even. This wasn't overnight. This was erosion. So now the narrative has shifted once again. Was Remy wrong? Absolutely. Was Papoose blindsided? Maybe not. Was Eazy plotting? Or was he just in the right place at the wrong or right time? Some fans argue that Remy Ma was emotionally abandoned, that she outgrew the love she once needed, that she didn't cheat, she evolved. Others say it's still betrayal, no matter how poetic you make it sound. That emotional cheating hits harder than physical. Meanwhile, Remy has yet to do an official interview, but she posted a cryptic message to her IG story. Don't judge people by the chapter you walked in on. Interpret that however you want, but it's giving, "I'm not apologizing." And in this case, silence is its own kind of confession. Industry insiders say her team is negotiating a 7-figure deal for an exclusive sit-down interview, either with Angie Martinez or even Oprah herself. The goal? Control the narrative. Tell her side. Explain the emotions behind the chaos. But Papoose? He's been spotted in Atlanta. Alone. No ring. No press. Just Papoose, walking through an airport with his hoodie up and his head down. And that image? It crushed fans more than any audio clip ever could. Because sometimes silence isn't strength. Sometimes it's heartbreak. And Eazy? He's officially capitalizing on the chaos. He dropped a freestyle titled Private Battles, where he raps, "I never took what wasn't offered, / I just held the pain she fostered." The internet exploded again. Some called it art. Others called it shameless. But one thing was clear. Eazy was stepping into the spotlight now, not as Remy's side piece, but as her possible next chapter. But hold up. Before we close this tragic trilogy, here's where the story takes a turn nobody expected. Because according to a leaked email thread between BET producers and Mona Scott Young's team, Remy Ma, Eazy, and Papoose were all in talks for a love and hip-hop Bronx reunion special before this leak ever happened.
Yes. You read that right.
So now people are asking, was this real or reality TV? Did Remy intentionally leak the audio to build hype? Was this heartbreak scripted? Was Papoose in on it the whole time? One entertainment blogger put it best. Either this is the most calculated media rollout of 2025, or this is the ugliest love story ever told. No one knows for sure. But here's what we do know. Remy Ma just torched a decade of loyalty in 3 simple steps. 1 confession, 1 silence, 1 video. Eazy the Block Captain went from underground battler to headline-snatching heartthrob in less than a week. And Papoose? He became the most sympathized man in hip-hop history again. Whether this was orchestrated or organic, one thing is certain. Nobody is walking away clean from this. And with rumors swirling of yet another audio leak, this time supposedly featuring a confrontation between Claressa Shields and Remy Ma backstage at an industry party, we might not be at the end of this saga. We might just be at the middle. Because when hearts break in the public eye, they don't just shatter quietly. They echo. They bleed. They leak. And the streets? They always listen. So now that the dust is settling, or at least trying to, where does that leave us? Is Remy Ma the villain, or just finally honest? Is Papoose the victim, or was he silently slipping away long before the leaks? And Eazy the Block Captain, did he ruin a marriage, or simply step into a role that was waiting for him? The truth is, in this modern age of receipts, reactions, and reality blending into unreality, we may never know the full truth. But one thing's for sure, this saga isn't over. Not by a long shot. Because this isn't just gossip. This is legacy-shifting, career-defining, headline-hijacking drama. And it's playing out in real time, with new twists, new footage, and new betrayals dropping by the hour. So now we turn to you.
Whose side are you on?
Team Papoose, the loyal husband who gave everything and got his heart ripped apart. Team Remy, the woman finally speaking her truth and reclaiming her desires, no matter the cost? Or Team Eazy, the man in the middle caught in the spotlight he never asked for, or did he? Drop your comments below. Let's hear what you think. Who's real? Who's faking it? And who's next to get exposed? And while you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more raw, messy, and mind-blowing exposés. Because on this channel, we don't just spill tea. We serve the whole pot. This is Gossip Spill Vibe, where the drama never sleeps and neither do we.
Stay tuned.
Stay woke. And stay ready because the next leak could change everything.